Hello, welcome to Leno Wingo. Today I'm going to explain about C programming, how to create prime numbers to print between the given range. So first we want to create a file with .c extension with help of Visual Studio Code. Just go to new text file and select the language and select C and save that file with the prime number, something like that. So your file is created. Now we can start writing our header file. Star hash include stdio.h, which is used for, and also main function. I wrote main function. I don't require any parameters here, and this point I will write the code. So first a better developer can create a better comments. I'm writing a comments here, declaration of variables. I'm declaring a couple of variables like var range. Range is used to print how many numbers we want to print, and we need to take the range from keyboard. And I want to declare another variable, that is var temporary variable, which is I want to store for each range. I want to check whether that number is prime or not. And I have another variable called var underscore counter, which is a counter which we want to use for computing purpose. So these are the different variables, and I initialize the var counter is equal to 0, and I want another variable to initiate the while loop var init. So I just declared that as well. And at this point we need to write the logic for how many times we need to iterate the loop. So I just wrote the comment, iterate the for loop between the range. And now I'm writing a for loop which I want to iterate number of elements within the given range. If you take this var initiate, and before that I want to take the number from input. Add a print statement, enter the input from the keyboard, and take that input from keyboard with the integer percentage d and ampersand var underscore range. And we close the statement. We took the number now var range, and I put the range in inside the loop. I took the initiate variable in the for loop, and I replace the size t with I inside a for loop. Now I also increment it var initiate plus plus. So my logic, and I put also less than or equal to var range, which I want to iterate that many number of times with the given input number. So here the logic for prime number, which I want to add the logic here. This is a place where I want to determine what is the whether the given number is the prime number or not. Now you take the logic here. I am taking a temporary variable. I already took it. I want to store each number into a temporary variable first. That is var temp is equal to var init. That means each and every number will store within the given range. And we forgot to add var init in the for loop, and I made it. And when we stored the temporary variable value from var init, now I want to start a while loop which I want to iterate with the initiate variable that many number of times within the given range. So I'm just iterating as many times as the var temp is declared, so that I will come to know how many times my number should iterate, and make it 1 in the for loop. 0 is not recommended. And also I need the counter which is used for inner while loop. I declared when var initiate a new variable is equal to 0. So now I am using the same variable var initiate, and there is a mandatory thing we need to increment each time. And this is the place where we have to write the logic to determine, check the condition here using if condition, whether the given number is giving a reminder 0 or not. So basically prime number is nothing but it is divided by the number on the one itself. So we need to check here whether the given number is divisible by the number itself or not within the given range. So you can take it in the if condition. If var temp percentage, that means reminder, var initiate is equal to 0 0, then increment the count var counter plus plus. That means your number is divisible by 0 and the number and itself, then the counter I'm incrementing. And once the counter is incremented, we have to check the condition that whether the count is equal to 2 or not. And if you take the line number 28, that is end of inner while loop. Just to make sure, we have to understand inner while loop should terminate properly. And out of the inner loop, I want to check the condition now, whether the var counter value is equal to 2. So just write a condition there, var counter is equal to 2 or not. So which will give you a control, which will give you an understanding that a number is divisible by a number itself and 1, so the counter will be 2. And I wrote a printf statement here as number is prime whenever the count is 2. And save your code. Just to make sure everything, your logic is aligned within the given range. And that is how it happens when for loop, and we will storing into temporary variable inside for loop, and we are iterating as each number based on while loop, inner while loop, and also we are checking the condition. inside if condition for each number is divisible by number itself and 1. So we are checking the counter for each end of the loop where counter is equal to 2. Then we are printing prime number. And I'm also making where counter is equal to 0 every time in line number 17 because it has to be overridden each time, otherwise it will take the previous value. So for each number the counter should be overridden. That is I added in line number 17. And I'm just giving some modifications here for printing that prime number is prime and where temporary variable. I'm just trying to print that number using a printf statement. And save that file. Make sure your logic in place. And we have to save this, and we are good to run this file. We ran it, Control Alt N, and it is asking for the input number. Enter the input from keyboard. I entered 5 and there is no result. There should be some issue. Let us fix this. Check where it went wrong. Definitely the variable we declared might went wrong somewhere. Let's dig it out. And if you see inside a while loop, inside a for loop, we need to verify each variable here. Where it went wrong. Yeah, so I found it. There is line number 16 where initiate is equal to 0. I made it 1, so that's the culprit. I saved it. Now I want to run it again because we need to put that variable in line number 16 as 1. Then only the condition will satisfy. I think it looks good now. We fixed it. We ran again, and now I'm entering the input 5. See, the result is number is prime 2, number is prime 3, number is prime 5. That's pretty good. That is as expected. And I want to print everything in new line. I pushed it in new line, and I ran again, and we can see 10. How many prime numbers? Number is prime 2, primary is prime 3, 5, 7. So that is the result we are going to expect. Just click on 150. See the result now. The number of primes between the 1 to 150 it is printing. So that is how we need to work on the such logics. So this is the way of doing OCP